calendar. And there we will have the 5 red lights on here in Saudi Arabia. And they're out as Nasev and Cookie will charge down to turn 1. Cookie's got a good start, but Nasev on the inside already. On the Rebel drivers in the background. The V-Carb Authority around Cookie and Nasev going side by side, wheel barging as the yellow flag is out. And already VSC is out as Mallard, Thori involved. I'm not quite sure what's happened. Thori's front wing entirely gone. As Sluskern actually has 13 seconds of penalties already, is on the inside. Goes Franz Herman, and both Gordon and Franz are around. And Franz now resets the track again. And I think that's Franz's WHF career done and dusted with another violation. As he's going to battle WHF, and WHF trying to get through on the V-Carb. But now he is Ollie for company. Ollie on the outside of WHF as they charge now through the middle sector. Ollie going to get through on WHF. Ollie with a very strong drive today so far. As Michael Lou going to swap with Echo. Michael Lou and Echo having strong races so far. TJ having such a strong return here as Michael Lou does get through on Echo. As Cookie battling with Nasev. Nasev round the outside again with DRS. Side by side they go into turn 1. And Cookie, and Nasev still contact. And both of them wheel tapping, many wheel taps. Nasev gets through. As TJ and Rio Harris swap positions there. Not quite sure what happened. Rio Harris appeared to leave the track as Echo comes in for an early stop. Yellow flag out. TJ's out. And it's a VSC, and I was boasting about how well TJ was doing, and TJ clips the inside wall at turn 4. And can do hard to the end. Meanwhile, Cookie on the inside, and Nasev squeeze to the inside wall. Cookie going to try and take the lead here, and he does just that here on lap 7. And Michael Louis now up into P4. As Kiki just ahead of Nasev. And Nasev all over the rear of the Williams, going to pick the outside to try and get ahead of the Williams, and does just that. But can he get the exit out of turn 2 as Arn gives him room, and down into turn 4 they go side by side. Franz gets ahead. Lovely move from Franz as Franz is around Arn. Just about avoids him, so does KKE. And Franz Herman spins, unfortunately, through Sector 1. As KKE now on the outside of the Alpine, as Hemi Dimes gets through on Gordon here through the middle sector. Have survived, but very close we are through Sector 1. Here's KKE on the Ferrari. Wash onto that outside curb. And Stephen Beecham now drops down to the back as Echo now going to try and get through on KKE. As Arn battling with Top Gun. Top Gun gets round the outside. Echo on the rear of KKE as Cookie and Nasev almost dropping Hemi Dimes at a DRS range again, but Hemi really hurting the Alpine driver. As Mallard gets around the outside, so does Sluskard. Thori surely going to follow him through as well. And Arn, I mean, I did say he should box, and he didn't. As Echo now in the rear of Kiki. Kiki tags the rear of Ollie. And Echo almost in the wall there as Cookie sets the fastest lap. Kiki now battling with Echo. And major contact between the Williams driver and the McLaren. As Echo going to try and get involved here, but not close enough to making a move here. Meanwhile, Nasev trying to stay with Cookie, but Cookie loads of pace, it seems. Potential driver of the day performance for Ollie as Ollie made a mistake on a turn 22. And had a check up on the rear of Liam as Nasev back into the lead now. And Cookie appeared to go very wide there. Was there some contact maybe involved? As Cookie going to try and get back through Nasev. And these two battling could help Hemi Dimes back into DRS range as Cookie now back into the lead. Nasev going to try and keep a nose in. And Cookie still battling with the save. They're side-by-side wheel barging. Cookie gets through. And can Hemi Dames use this to his advantage as there's absolute carnage? Pandemonium at turn 1 as KKE gets through. Ollie, some damage for the McLaren drivers. He's battling with Liam and Liam losing out in Top Gun. Through up into P9 as Liam has to back out in his battles. But we're in so many battle territories here as Top Gun on the inside of Ollie. Ollie going to try and sweep around the outside. Trying to find the grip of Top Gun on the inside. Finds superior grip. And Ollie will concede to Top Gun. Oh, and Ollie's around! Ollie in the wall! And Ollie out of the race! Absolute heartbreak for the McLaren driver. Just took a boot of the throttle. And Ollie out here on lap 22. It's got around, it's Liam! Liam around in sector 1 as Top Gun is out! Exiting Schumacher corner as Mallard comes together with Echo. They're dropping like flies here in tier 1. As we're about to start the final lap here in a save. Oh, he breaks very late into the rear of Cookie there. Not quite sure what happened there. It seemed like Nasev maybe missed his braking point entirely. On here as Echo gets through on Mallard. In behind Mallard, it's Thori and Sluskart. And Sluskart hopping over the curb as Nasev has picked up a warning. And that will hand P2 to Hemi Dames. For sure. Nasev pushing hard to try and get the win here. As Cookie now coming up to the line. And he'll be crossing the finish line here in round 4 to win in Saudi Arabia as Hemi Dames jumps to P2. Gordon jumps to P4 ahead of Rio Harris. Michael Loy in P6, followed by KKE in P7. As Ty up to P8, followed by Echo and Mallard. Mallard doesn't have any penalties. Where will Mallard jump to? P8 as he absolutely smashes the Cyber of Nasev across the line.